You know that feeling when you walk through the gates at Glastonbury and suddenly everything just makes sense? That feeling you carry around for weeks afterwards? Yeah, that one. Welcome to the 100% unofficial Glastonbury Festival podcast. I'm Paul from Glastonbury Tips, and every episode I'll sit down with someone who truly gets it. Fellow Glasgow obsessives, veterans, and anyone who's ever stood in a field at 3 a.m. thinking, I am home. So pull up a camping chair, grab a cider, and let's talk Glastonbury.
Okay, guys, this is a big one. Time for another episode of the 100% unofficial Glastonbury Festival podcast. I am your host, Si Wilmore, as always, here with the main man, Mr. Paul Ferrugia.
Hey, mate, how you doing?
Very well, thank you, mate. And as I say, this is a big get. This is very exciting for the podcast. We have been speaking to Jim Fox, who is one of the main organisers for the entire Glastonbury Festival. He's been involved for decades. He is one of the leading lights of the Glastonbury Festival.
He was originally a touring musician playing traditional and contemporary Irish music. Jim's involvement in Glastonbury began in the early 80s when he gave the first of his many performances down there.
That's right. So he was asked to appear at the festival. He became a compere. He spent a number of years working on the Avalon stage. A little bit later, he became the organiser of, as we remember it, the John Peel stage, which of course nowadays is known as the Woodsies Stage. That's one of the 4 biggest stages at the entire festival, attracting nearly 200,000 people every year.
Yeah, and during his time there, mate, he's worked with some of the leading names in the music industry and got to meet people like the Dalai Lama, Bruce Springsteen, and Prince Harry.
Amazing. And nowadays, he's also a speaker. He's an author. He's even returned to his roots. He now makes solo music again, as well as, of course, helping to run the festival. This is going to be an absolute treat.
Jim, you first started going to Glastonbury in the early 80s. The festival has changed immensely since then. What brings you back year after year and what makes it so special?
I guess that after all this time, and it just seemed to be a long time when you early 80s, it's become part of my life, really. Although I've got to admit that I'm actually enjoying having this year off with the fallow year. It's nice to have a bit of a rest at this time of year. Changes have been massive. I mean, when I look back, when I think about it, the first time I went there, it was more of a hippie festival than it is now. You could just drive your vehicle on site and park it up next to your tent and that, and it was a lot cheaper. The tickets were a lot cheaper as well for people. I think even with all the changes, it still kept that sort of sense of community, I think, amongst the festival goers there. It's like a big family in lots of ways, you know.
We had another guest on and he said exactly the same. It is like a family, a massive family gets together. It's 100,000 people once a year.
So many of like people that I class as my friends now, people that I've met through Glastonbury. And even earlier on this year, we were on holiday in Sri Lanka. Saw somebody carrying a Glastonbury tote bag thing, you know. So we got talking to them and it was like, just felt there was so much in common that we had, you know. It was great.
That's so true. It's funny. We go traveling a lot as well, mainly in winter, and I'm always taking my Glastonbury t-shirt with me. And so many people come up to me from all over the world.
Yeah.
It's now a worldwide event. You know, people everyone knows about.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, in the 80s, you first went as a performer, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I went there. Well, I went as a punter first off, and I took my guitar with me and managed to blag a couple of spots on some of the smaller stages up in what's now the Greenfield area. And from that, I got asked to go back the following year as a performer. I didn't get paid. It just got a free ticket for that one. That was good. And so I did that and then ended up doing a bit of comparing on one of the stages. And that's how all that began. And then a few years later, I became a compere on the Avalon stage. And that was great times. It was I just really enjoyed it. But then when the new band stage started, I think that was 98, the team of us that were involved with Avalon, we all moved down to start up the new band stage. And then that eventually became the John Peel stage. So I was doing comparing there. From that, I went on to become stage manager for a couple of years. And then I took on the role of area organizer. And then that became Woodsies Stage a couple of years ago then.
Now it's obviously, even that area has grown because, was it 2017 they opened up the Woods area itself?
Yeah.
Which I love. And, you know, on a hot one, it's perfect. And then, was it 2 years ago, they opened up the Tree Stage?
That's right, yeah. I mean, I'd always felt that, like, we had the big marquee in there. And I love that. I think the atmosphere in that is great. It's you still got the big names playing there, but it's more intimate. And yeah, I really like that. But I always felt that whole field was just empty.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when there wasn't like if you went over to West Holts on like Wednesday and Thursday, there'd be crowds of people hanging about there. You got the cider bus and all that sort of stuff going on there. People were going up there, and there was nothing in our field. So it was great when that Tree Stage went in there, and we had some a couple of food stalls there, and it just became a place to go to. Yeah, I think that made a big difference, big difference to the area.
I agree. When they opened the Tree Stage for the first time 2 years ago, I think on the Wednesday or Thursday morning, we went straight down there, and there was amazing stuff going on that stage, you know, and it was nice to be in that area because, as you said, we rarely went down until there was gigs on.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, like, I'd say when I think about all the stages I spend most of my time at, and it's not because I'm interviewing you today, I'm not saying this, Woodsies Stage is the one I've always spent most of my time at.
Oh, we are the best.
Maybe we'll do like a league table with all the guests I've got.
Yeah, it just had some incredible moments there. So it's been brilliant. I love it there.
Yeah, it's so funny because last year I was backstage at one point with one of the volunteers, and somehow we got talking about Ian McKellen, and she didn't know he was going to come on, and nor did I. And we was talking about him. Then I waited for Scissor Sisters, and when he come out, we're like, "This is the magic of Glastonbury." We mentioned him, and he's out on stage. What does your day-to-day running of that stage and that area look like?
My work really starts around the September time.
Wow.
Making sure we've got all the necessary crew in place. That includes getting in the companies who do the sound, the lighting technicians, the video, as well as bringing in the crew caterers and the people who run the backstage bar and the toilets and artist liaison. There's so much goes on, you know. The security as well. We've got to, you know, make sure we have that there. So there's a lot of my work is done sat at the laptop and contacting people by email and that. And then together with my site manager, was coordinating the builds. I guess a couple of months beforehand, we're starting working on the layout of the area, particularly that backstage area.
A couple of months beforehand?
Yeah, because you're having a plan where sort of water pipes are going to go.
Oh.
Things like that, you know, drainage and things like that. And you've got to be careful because there's lots underneath the ground at Glastonbury, the festival site. There's lots of sort of gas pipes.
Oh, wow.
So you have to be spot on as to where you're putting in pegs for the marquees and things, you know. So there's all that. So it does go on for quite a long time. You getting in the marquees, the trackways and everything. Yeah, there's so much goes on. If I've done my job properly, when it comes to the actual festival itself, I should be able to sit back a bit.
Okay.
You know,
do you?
No, I try to a little bit. But then, you know, you've got to look after the artists and make sure that they're behaving themselves and being looked after as well, you know. I mean, going back to the days of it being the new bandstand and John Peel, there was lots of bringing in up and coming bands. I remember one year we had, I think Coldplay opened up on a Friday morning.
Wow.
You know, and then sort of the following year they're on Pyramid and things like that. But yeah, there's been lots of bands who've started their Glastonbury careers, if you like, on John Peel Stage and Woodsies, you know.
Yeah, it's funny because during lockdown, I did this huge undertaking and I did this massive Glastonbury playlist on Spotify. And I tried to put almost every artist that's ever played. So forever, I think there's 10,000 tracks.
Wow.
As I was going through the lineups over the years, it was like seeing a football league table. So you mentioned like Coldplay starting there. And then they move up to the pyramid stage or to the other stage. And it was the same with Radiohead, Oasis, and
Yeah.
they all started on the smaller stages and then obviously get to the Premier League of the pyramid stage.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we've had so many bands that they played on our stage one year, and then the following year they're either on the other stage or up in on the pyramid.
So you're like a launch pad.
Yeah. I don't know whether I should say this, but I prefer seeing bands on our stage because, like I said before, it's that intimacy of it. For me, to watch something on Pyramid, I'd probably wait till I got home and watch it on the iPlayer.
It's so funny. It's like a million festivals going on at the same time.
Yeah.
And like we're talking about famous people, and I noticed on your website you've met like the likes of Donovan, Bruce Springsteen, and His Holiness the Dalai Lama. I mean, when you went there in the 80s as a musician, if you'd have someone said to you, you're going to meet the Dalai Lama.
No, I wouldn't have believed it.
I mean, what was that like? What's it like meeting these people?
Generally, you get to the point where it doesn't mean anything. You realize that they're all ordinary people. I mean, it was an amazing thing to meet Springsteen. And the story behind that. I was told he was coming up to sit side the stage to watch Gaslight Anthem.
Oh, wow, okay.
And that's all we knew. But he came up, and then Gaslight Anthem, as they're halfway into their set, they called him out to join them on stage, and that was a moment at Glastonbury when the power of the mobile phone. I think the tent was sort of half full for Gaslight Anthem, and he came out on stage, and within seconds there were droves of people coming in. It was as if people had said, "You got to get over here quickly, see this." That was something special. Meeting the Dalai Lama, that was just unbelievable. That was a really special moment. So I would say those two were they were up there. They were real sort of special moments. You get to meet so many names, and you do Springsteen turned out to be a really nice bloke. Really down to earth, really friendly. Yeah, it was great.
I mean, you're an artist, they're a fellow artist, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, it's good. I've never met Springsteen. I've seen him alive a few times, and he comes across as this down to earth New Jersey guy, and it's so good to hear that he actually is a down to earth New Jersey guy.
Yeah, he was great. He was really interested in the fact that we do have lots of new and up and coming bands, especially in the sort of the early hours of the day. And yeah, it was good to meet him.
That's amazing. I remember, I'll never forget when they said the Dalai Lama is going to be there. I was like, I'm reading this wrong. It can't be wrong. And I got up early on the Sunday, probably way earlier than I normally would on a Sunday morning at Glastonbury. And we went to listen to his chats up in the peace fields. And it was magical. Magical.
I think it was his 80th birthday year. And which coincided with Michael's 80th birthday as well, the same thing. But yeah, I mean, I was invited to go and have lunch with him. Not just the two of us. There was about, I don't know, 20 odd of us. Just to be invited by the festival to do that was amazing. And it was in the Greenpeace field. So I got there. He'd been speaking up at the Stones, and not the rolling ones, the the sacred space area of the field. And I thought I better get down to this Greenpeace place before all the crowds start moving. So I came down early and standing there, just hanging about, waiting for him. And it was just a magical moment when he came in. He just came straight over to me and spoke to me, and it was like, wow, this is the Dalai Lama, in
a field in Somerset in the rain.
Yeah, if you'd have told me that years ago, no.
It still blows my mind he was there. And then seeing him on stage with Patti Smith on the pyramid stage later on when everyone sang him happy birthday, even that combination of seeing them two together was really, wow.
Oh, dear.
But I suppose that's the magic of Glastonbury. It brings all of this together.
One of the other people I met, which was a bit of a shock at the time. I'd had a message saying that there was some guests of Michael Eavis who wanted to come down to what was John Peel Stage then, and have lunch there.
Okay.
And they just wanted to check that I could sort out the lunch. So I said, yeah, no problem. So they came, and I was just about to do something else at the time. So I welcomed them in and took them into the catering area and left them queuing up for their food. And then I had to go off and do something. When I got back, about, I don't know, half an hour later, it was then I realised who it was. I hadn't been told who was coming, just some guests of Michael Eavis. And when I got back and I saw him, it was Prince Harry. I'd left Prince Harry queuing up for his lunch in a catering centre. But again, he turned out to be, a really nice, laid-back bloke, and I had a good chat with him afterwards, and he was very understanding that I'd deserted him.
I can picture exactly what you're talking about as well, the catering centre back there. So I'm picturing him in that queue.
Yeah.
I wonder what people standing around him were thinking.
I don't think people are allowed to take photographs of him. I think they had quite a few sort of security people with him and sort of in T-shirts, but with bulges. Yeah, so I never got my photograph taken with him because it didn't seem right.
Yeah, you just get that vibe, don't you?
Yeah, don't ask.
And what about like standout musical performances? What's like one that you go,
Oh, that's a hard one. I mean, on another occasion, I could list you the ones that all went wrong.
We could do that too.
I think I don't go down to the pyramid now, but I think the last time I went there, it was to see Leonard Cohen.
Oh, I can't believe you just said that. I literally talk about it. That was my first Glastonbury.
Oh, it was amazing. Just to see this guy who'd been sort of an idol, an icon when I was younger, and that to be standing on stage, and he just seemed to be blown away by the response that he got.
Yeah,
and that was a Glastonbury moment. That was really.
I'm getting goose pimples as you say it.
Yeah, it was incredible, and he was funny as well. I mean, he didn't take himself seriously. It was great, And then another brilliant moment was when we had a surprise act. I think it was on a Sunday afternoon, and the Killers.
I was there.
Never seen so many people in that field. I mean, we couldn't get that many people in now that we've got all the other bits in there. But that was an incredible moment.
Yeah, I remember. In fact, you had to close it off, I think.
Yeah, it was closed off. Yeah,
and I heard early on that day that it was going to be them. So I said to my friends, I said, let's get down a few acts before, get a decent spot, and not miss it. And yeah, others couldn't get in.
Oh, it was amazing. What a good set as well. It was really great.
They always put on a great show, always.
But I've got to say, I think the best act I've ever seen in 40 odd years, really, was last year. And that was the Scissor Sisters, like you were saying. They were just amazing. The Scissor Sisters were not an act that I would have gone out of my way to see normally, but they were just incredible. And then when Ian McKellen came out on stage with them, that was goosebumps. That was incredible. And he was so blown away by the response that he got.
Oh yeah, when everyone was singing his name at the end.
Yeah, it was incredible, wasn't it? Don't know how many people knew that he was going to be on there, but I mean, I remember that moment that the stage went dark and they led him to the microphone. He'd been very sort of frail and people were looking after him, and they led him to the microphone, and then the lights came back up, and on the big screen it was just his face, and the roar from the crowd was just fantastic. I think that's the best thing I've ever seen there.
Oh, I think it was the loudest roar of the whole weekend.
Yeah, incredible, isn't it?
It was magical. It was absolutely magical.
Sorry to jump in here, you guys, but Jim, I'd love to hear about one of the times it went wrong. If you would care to share one of them, don't leave the listeners hanging. There must be some amazing stories of, we want to see behind the scenes. We want to know what goes into making Glastonbury, and of course, sometimes things go wrong. Do any stories come to mind?
Right, I've got to be careful I don't get sued now.
Good point. If we need to cut this section, we absolutely can.
Yeah. I think we would have been New Band Stage then. Do you want me to tell that one?
Yeah, yes.
Only if you're not going to lose your job because of it.
No, I don't think so. I've told it loads of times, sort of in private to people. This one.
Well, there might be quite a few people listening to this. So.
There was a particular band one year. Perhaps I shouldn't name them.
Yeah.
There was a particular band one year who I'd been looking forward to seeing them. And I stood at the side of the stage waiting for them to come on. And they'd had quite a big hit, and it was a version of one of their songs that had been remixed, I think by Norman Cook, but I'm not sure. They'd been remixed, and it was quite a massive hit. I was stood at the side of the stage waiting for them to come on, and the girlfriend of one of the band, one of the guitarists in the band was standing next to me. She said, "I'm going now." Just before they came on, I said, "Are you not staying to see them?" She said, "No, they're boring." So they came on stage and they started off, and I thought, that's strange. They're starting off with their hit. It wasn't their hit. It was just something that sounded very much like their hit. And that went on for about 3 songs, and then they finally did it. And at the end of it, I had to agree with her. And I came off stage and I went into our green room. I said to one of our other, I think it was our site manager was in there. I said to him, "That's the most boring band I've ever heard in my life." And he cracked up. And then I had to go away because they came into the green room then after coming off stage. So I went into the office, into the production office. And this was in the days when bands were paid in cash, not necessarily having bank transfers and things like that. And so I went into the office and I said, "You'll never guess what just happened. I just came out, went into the green room, and I said, that was the most boring band I've ever heard." And then they came into the green room. And as I said that, the office is split into 2. The other door opened, and out came their manager, who had just been getting paid. And so he'd heard me all about it. They returned a few years later to play it again, came in, saw me, and said, "Oh, we remember you from last time." But I didn't lose my job that year. But I think I did upset somebody.
You can
You're trying to work out who it is now, aren't you?
I was going to say, once we stop recording, you can tell me who it is. I'll avoid them too. Fantastic.
At this point, let's also add a disclaimer. Not all the bands at Glastonbury are boring, guys. Some of them are actually very good. Brilliant. I'm going to get out your hair again. Thanks, Jim.
That's
amazing.
Right.
That's amazing.
I could write a book about the different bands that we've had and the experiences. I think there's gone so many.
I can imagine. You should. Yeah. You really should. People will buy it.
Yeah.
Apart from Woodsies, and if you have the time during the festival, what areas do you love? What other areas of the festival?
I don't actually leave the area anymore. Once Friday comes, I don't come out of the area. I guess we've got so much going on in our backstage area anyway. I mean, we have live music going on in our crew bar, which is named the Fox and Badger. That's because the site manager is called Jonathan Badger. and so with me and him, it's a wildlife area.
Finally, for people who are thinking of coming to Glastonbury for the first time, what tips would you give them to make the most of their Glastonbury experience?
First off, I think everybody should go to Glastonbury Festival at least once in their life. You know, no matter who you are, how old you are, and you should go there and experience it. It is a real experience. It's not like anything else. I don't think there's anything quite like it. No other festival is certainly like it, you know. But don't go with any sort of preconceived ideas of what it's going to be like. Go there with an open mind, and don't try and plan anything, because it won't work out. You know, just go off there and wander around and look at all the smaller stages as well. It's not just about the big stages, and it's all the other stuff. And just go out there and enjoy it, and learn things, I think, and meet people. Be prepared for a few surprises as well.
Totally. That's exactly what I recommend in my book and on my website. I say, don't plan, maybe try and see 2 or 3 acts a day at the most.
Yeah.
You won't be able to see any others. And yeah, get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Fantastic, Jim. That's been brilliant. It's been good hearing some of the stories from backstage.
Thank you.
I've really, really loved listening to you, and hopefully I'll be in the Fox and Badger this time next year, or almost this time next year.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, come and have a drink with us. It'll be good.
Good God, what a man, what a career.
Oh, I think that was one of my favourite ones we've done so far. I mean, he's met everyone, he's seen it all down there, and it was so good to get some of his experiences, to hear some of his experiences.
Definitely. As you say, like, he's met the Dalai Lama and he said, oh, Dalai Lama is just another human being. I mean, yeah, he is just another human being. He's also the Dalai Lama. Like, that's one of the most gangster things I've ever heard.
It's so true, and it was so good to hear that Bruce Springsteen is a nice guy.
Definitely. Yeah, wouldn't it suck if he was horrible?
Yeah, hopefully one day we'll get Bruce on and we'll ask him if he remembers me and Jim Fox.
Yeah, of course, Jim Fox probably just calls him Bruce, right?
Oh, yeah, like, as we all do. Bruce!
Yeah, just Bruce. Yeah, and what was the other one? Like, what was the other? Oh, yeah, he just said, oh, yeah, and then, like, Norman had to do this for us. Just Norman Cook had to do this. And I'm thinking, you mean Fatboy Slim, right? Like, not just Norman. All right, Norm, how are you, mate? No, it's Fatboy Slim. What an absolute baller of a human being.
Yeah, that was a really, really great conversation. I can't wait for all the listeners to hear this one.
We got some amazing guests lined up, guys. Can't wait for you to hear the next episodes. Otherwise, it's been an absolute treat talking to you as always, and we'll speak to you soon.
I hope you enjoyed that episode as much as I did, and I hope to see some of you on the farm in 2027.
If you enjoyed this episode of the podcast, check out Paul's book, the 100% unofficial Glastonbury Festival Guidebook, Tips and Tricks to Survive the World's Greatest Festival. The book has detailed advice from Glastonbury veterans who have been there, done that, and they're here to guide you through the festival's wonders to help you have the best, most magical experience down at the farm. For more information on the 100% unofficial Glastonbury Festival Guidebook, go to glastonburytips.com.